Paul Frank, Paul Frank. You see me on your TV, I'm rocking Paul Frank. Paul Frank, Paul Frank. Banana color Lambo, I call it Paul Frank. Paul Frank, Paul Frank. I don't like the monkey dudes, I call them Paul Franks. Paul Frank, Paul Frank. Sweats rocking Hello Kitty, me, I'm rocking Paul Frank. Paul Frank, Paul Frank. Paul Frank, Paul Frank, Paul Frank. Paul Frank. Walking through the store, I'm copping Paul Frank. My dog's racking up too, what your dogs ain't. No limit on the card, that's just your bank. I'm slam dunking on these lambs, call a ball game. Jump around, it's going wild. Do you really wanna see me start going wild? Got a couple squats with me and it's going down. Going down, yeah, it's going down. They think that I'm retarded. Pajamas match the cartoon. Please don't get me started. All Paul Frank will be tattooed. I'm stunting hard and it's legal. Scoop my chick from the Regal. I'm super fly, yeah, super fly. I'm piggybacking this eagle. My Paul Frank is illegal. I'm on point, no needle. If you rock Paul, I see you. I never cop one, I need two. This Paul Frank, Paul Frank. You see me on your TV, I'm rocking Paul Frank. Paul Frank, Paul Frank. Banana colored Lambo, I call it Paul Frank. Paul Frank, Paul Frank. I don't like the monkey dudes, I call them Paul Franks. Paul Frank, Paul Frank. Sweats rocking Hello Kitty, me, I'm rocking Paul Frank. Paul Frank, Paul Frank. Paul Frank, Paul Frank. Paul Frank, Paul Frank. Yeah, and the shirt match the watch I'm wearing. Match the Paul with the Louis, now the people staring. I call it stunting, they call it bluffing. Sugar Hill, low homie, the money's nothing. Superman and my Paul Frank, cooking up in my Paul Frank. Call my homeboy Paul Frank, tell him send me more Paul Frank. No Mr. Clean, I'm ballin'. Paul Frank with my spalding. I'm too fly to be falling. Why the cashier keeps stalling? Bring me my Paul Frank in that basket. I know you wish that you had it. They sold out in the size I need. This here can get tragic. No, I see it, I snatched it. Wrapped up in this plastic. Paul Frank is so classic. I need a shirt, but I passed it. So bring me my Paul Frank. Paul Frank. You see me on your TV, I'm rocking Paul Frank. Paul Frank, Paul Frank. Banana colored Lambo, I call it Paul Frank. Paul Frank, Paul Frank. I don't like the monkey dudes, I call them Paul Franks.